"Well," said he, "I will swim on until I am worn out, or the cramp seizes me, and then I shall sink." And he struck out with the energy of despair. Suddenly the sky seemed to him to become still darker and more dense, and heavy clouds seemed to sweep down towards him. At the same time he felt a sharp pain in his knee. He fancied for a moment that he had been shot, and listened for the report, but he heard nothing. Then he put out his hand and encountered an obstacle, and with another stroke he knew he had gained the shore. Before him rose a grotesque mass of rocks that resembled nothing so much as a vast fire petrified at the moment of its most fervent combustion. It was the island Tiboulen. Dante rose, advanced a few steps, and, with a fervent prayer of gratitude, stretched himself on the granite, which seemed to him softer than down. Then, in spite of the wind and rain, he fell into the deep, sweet sleep of utter exhaustion. At the expiration of an hour, Edmund was awakened by the roar of thunder. The tempest was let loose and beating the atmosphere with its mighty wings. From time to time, a flash of lightning stretched across the heavens like a fiery serpent, lighting up the clouds that rolled on in vast chaotic waves. Dante had not been deceived. He had reached the first of the two islands, which was, in fact, Tiboulen. He knew that it was barren and without shelter, but when the sea became more calm, he resolved to plunge into the waves again and swim to Lemaire, equally arid but larger, and consequently better adapted for concealment. Oh my god, this passage gave me a sense memory of being in one of those wave pools. Not a wave pool. What's the like? I used to go to Typhoon Lagoon at Disney World when I was a kid, and they'd have one of those. What are they called? Not wave pool, but like where it generates a huge wave and pushes everyone. Something that probably should never have existed for how many injuries that shit gave people. But I would never go in the deep end because I didn't want a foot in my nose. But I would stay somewhat shallow, or maybe like up to my shoulders or my, upper waist. And that was stupid in and of itself too, because once the wave hit me and took me off my feet, this exact thing would happen that happened in this passage, which was he thought that for a moment he had been shot, and he listened for the report and heard nothing. But really what was happening is he was swimming so much, it was so dark he couldn't see the rocks ahead of him, and as he was swimming, he just nailed his knee on a rock the way that I would scrape my knee on the bottom of that, textured concrete that people needed for, grip, so they wouldn't slip all over the place. Why did we have those wave pools? I don't understand it. I get the thrill sometimes, but having 100 or more people in one pool where you are emulating the wave of a tsunami and throwing them against each other, like, just think about this. I went there when I was, 11, 12, 10, so 30 some years ago. 30 years time, and it's still open to this day. This is the power of Disney. You're telling me not one person in 30 years time has been injured to the degree that a lawsuit would shut it down, or died, perhaps. Actually, I'm just looking this up now, and it does say that there is finally a 2025 lawsuit that alleges that a 2023 wave pool incident resulted in permanent injury for a California woman. Ugh. And another one says that the Humunga Kawabunga water slide caused a severe gynecological trauma to another woman. In 2024. This stuff is dangerous, folks. Why? I don't mean to be like a joy kill, but I was a child in that pool at that time. Okay, I'll do a little self-reflection here. Was I more of a lazy river kid? Yes. Was I going to always be a lazy river person? Am I still to this day? Yes. But I do have an aversion to water, not just from Typhoon Lagoon, from a number of other things. But did Typhoon Lagoon contribute to it? Quite perhaps. In fact, holy shit. Okay, sorry. I'm doing a Google search here. Typhoon Lagoon wave pool. And the first thing that comes up beyond Typhoon Lagoon wave pool is Typhoon Lagoon wave pool injuries. Here's another one. Kiddie area incident. In 2022, a woman was reportedly struck by a mammoth wave in a kiddie area, not a designated wave pool. according to the 2025 lawsuit. It states that she was dragged on the concrete, resulting in deep scrapes and a ruined vacation. I think Disney can at least afford to comp that woman's vacation. Give her a stay in one of their hotels. Make sure, one of the characters comes and delivers her breakfast in bed every day. And, free admission and front of the line for every single ride that she wants to go on by her own choice. Not, I want to go into a kiddie pool and get hit by a mammoth wave. I want to just, very calmly go on the Haunted Mansion ride alone. Oh my God. I'm also finding just a world of Reddit posts about Typhoon Lagoon injuries. Okay, so maybe this is a little more documented than I thought. Okay, I'm sorry, everyone. We went way off book today, but sometimes I think we need to do that to keep the show fresh. Join me here tomorrow. I will get back on track, I promise. Certainly more is going to happen with Dante now that he has gotten a little bit of rest and he is on an island, presumably safe for the moment from any prying eyes looking for him. Okay, you know where to find me. Tomorrow, more of Chapter 21. I'll see you then. Goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.